Hello, health enthusiasts, and welcome to Rev Up Health, your go-to podcast for all things wellness. I'm Dr. Mark Hechler.
And I'm Tandi Hechlers. Together, we're here to fuel your health journey with the best of functional medicine and holistic well-being.
Each episode will dive deep into topics that matter to your health, bringing you the latest insights, research, and inspiring stories.
So whether you're on a quest for vibrant health or just looking for daily health tips, we've got you covered.
So let's embark on this journey together and transform the way you live. So Tandi, what's on our wellness radar for today?
Hello, and welcome to Rev Up Health podcast. This is Tandi and
Mark Hechler.
We are going to take some time today to introduce ourselves so that you know a little bit about us before we get started on this journey. Mark, do you want to start talking about yourself first?
Oh, yeah. I like talking about myself. All right, everybody. Hey, Mark Hechler here. Basically, I am a hometown kind of guy. Grew up in Missouri. I'm from a small town up northern Missouri called Brookfield, Missouri. So just a small town, and basically everybody knows everybody. You know how that is. So I went to medical school and residency also in Missouri, and after graduating out of residency from St. Louis area, I basically started private practice in a small town outside of Kansas City, Missouri called Warrensburg, Missouri. In my residency, I had a lot of exposure to all kinds of things, emergency room work all the way through the ear and nose and throat practice that I've got now. So it's a otolaryngology practice that has been I've been in practice for almost 30 years now, essentially. And so at this point, enjoyed it. Had a good time, and now we're kind of moving on into other adventures. So hobbies for me, basically, I like to do a lot of running. I do marathon running. So I've run marathons on all 7 continents and closely closing in on all my states. So having a good time, enjoying it, feeling good, going to keep doing it while I still can. I like hiking. We like biking, pretty physically active. I like to do a lot of weight training and physical mobility and strengthening, stuff like that. So it's always good for longevity purposes. Interests. Well, I like to do a lot of home and office remodeling and designing. I've done that over the years and designed our homes and office and surgery centers. So it's just something I've enjoyed. I probably think that if I couldn't do healthcare, I'd probably go into architecture. But I also enjoy a lot of stuff around the home, electrical, plumbing. I am a pilot. I do have my private pilot license. I enjoyed that. Something I did later in life. Didn't know I really had an interest in that, but patient I had, it got me interested in it, and it's like, sure, let's do it. So got that done and love it. Kind of grew up in a small town, so I really didn't have access to much farming, if you will, but I did have a cattle farm that I purchased and raised cattle on that for years too. Did that during my practice. Other hobbies, let's see. I did have an ambulance that we bought here just a few years ago. We converted that into an RV, so you can see that at Romont Adventures. A little plug for that. We enjoy that. We take the dogs and go on trips and go to races and do bike races and what have you throughout the country. It's a lot of fun. But that's pretty much it. So I'm going to turn this over to Tandi and let her kind of describe what she's done and where she's from.
Oh boy, that's a tough act to follow. I am born and raised in Kansas City, grew up in the suburbs of Kansas City, essentially, and went to nursing school. I did things a little different. I started my nursing school after I had two baby girls at home. And so I went to nursing school nights and weekends and got my associate degree in nursing, and then started working as an RN on a med-surg floor. Did that for about a year and then transitioned to the operating room, where I worked on the neuro team for several years and then moved into leadership in the operating room and did that for several years. As far as interests go, I would say I am a personal growth junkie, maybe. I've done lots of training and yoga teacher training. I've done energy work training. And ultimately, I also love the mountains, hiking, biking. I have learned to love running, or AKA walking, half marathons alongside Mark. Let's see what else here. I am a 5-1 projector with Splenic Authority and Human Design. If you know, you know. And I'm really passionate about mental health. I think that it is so important that people really kind of take note of their mental health and work through those things. I've done a lot of therapy in my day, and I am a huge advocate for therapy. So that is something that I am definitely passionate about. Let's see, I think that pretty much covers the background. So I guess I didn't really talk about what I've done in the past few years, but I'll let Mark explain a little bit how I ended up where I am right now.
Okay, so yeah, we basically, we both have been married, had children. I had 3 wonderful kids. She had 2 beautiful girls, and we have been blessed to have such a nice blended family that is absolutely a joy, and they all get along together so wonderful. So we're so fortunate to have that. But we basically met in a strange situation. We met we both are very active in medical mission trip work, and we do a lot of medical mission volunteering. And at this point, she's been to India, and I've been to Romania, and then we both met basically in Uganda, and Gulu, Uganda, and we got to work it together in the same OR, and kind of got to know each other a little bit. And then the following year, we went back, and at that point, things started clicking a little bit. And we actually, after we got back to Kansas City, we decided, okay, well, how about we do? So I'll ask you out for a date. Maybe we'll go to a Kansas City Chiefs football game. And so that's kind of how it all started. Then we went and had back to the following year to Uganda for another mission trip. And at that point, then I decided, okay, well, this would be a good time to probably ask her to marry me. So I told nobody. She had no idea, didn't tell her parents, didn't tell our kids at all, and just kind of sprang a little surprise on her. And I'll let her describe how that went.
So after we do a mission trip, there's usually a couple days of decompression time. And in Uganda, we do that decompression time at Chobe Safari Lodge. And it's this beautiful safari lodge on the Nile River. And Mark says he's going to take me on a walk out to this spot that he scoped out previously. And the other piece of this is that at the Chobe Lodge, there's wildlife everywhere. And so you're not really supposed to go too far from the main hotel area without a chaperone. And they have these little tent cabins. And if you're in one of those tent cabins, you have to be taken from the lodge to your cabin via golf cart with a chaperone who has a weapon in case you encounter any wildlife at night. And so Mark decides he's going to take me at sunset on a walk to this spot that he scoped out previously. And so off we go without a chaperone. And if you know me, you know I'm somewhat of a rule follower. And so I'm already a little bit anxious about the fact that we're kind of going outside the rules and, getting to be dark. So we get out to this beautiful spot, and there is a bench, and the sun is setting on the Nile River, and the hippos are starting to make noises, and it is just beautiful. But as the sun goes down and it gets darker, I'm getting more nervous and more nervous. And so then I'll let Mark take over here.
So these hippos, when it gets dark at night, these hippos come out of the water. They come out of the Nile, and they go up on land, and they feed, and that's what they do all night. Well, hippos aren't real nice. They're not real friendly. So it's getting dark. She's getting nervous. It's about time for us to go now. She really wants to go. She's going, okay, I'm getting nervous. We got to go. So, okay, at this point now I'm saying, okay, well, I guess I better get on this. So that's when I got the ring out of my pocket, got down on one knee, and asked her to marry me. Of course, she luckily said yes. And at this point, then it's time, okay, we got to run back real quick. We got to get out of here. These hippos are coming out of the water. And literally, they are coming out of the water as we're going back to the main lodge. So we kind of have to literally walk gingerly to get back. So that was a little bit anxiety provoking at that point. So anyway, that's the engagement situation. So after we got engaged, of course, the year later, we essentially get married. And at this point now, before we got married, she started working in the office, the ear, nose, and throat office. And at this point, we're starting to see a lot of patients and noticing it's like, man, people are just getting sick, and getting younger and getting sicker, and folks with being young and having high blood pressure problems. And then we've noticed also that just like people are talking about the golden age is not so golden for them. So it starts to bring on a little bit of thought and discussion between us about how, well, what can be done to promote longevity. So we just basically got married. We're newlyweds, if you will, but yet we're older adults, not older, but adults, we'll call it that way. And, it's like we want to spend as much time together, the quality time as we can together. So what can we do for promoting our own health and longevity? And that's kind of where we got progressed into what we're currently trying to do.
Well, we'll go back just a touch, because I was the one to kind of get us headed down this path, because I was thinking I want to feel the best that I can. And I started working with a functional nutritionist who did a bunch of lab work, and we did some genetic testing, and we're looking at things. And she says to me, we're doing different supplements and changing my diet and those kind of things. And she's looking at my labs, and she says, well, your thyroid labs are normal, but they're the low end of normal. Do you think your husband would prescribe you thyroid? And I was like, well, I don't know. I guess I will ask. And I'll let...
And I said, no, I don't want to do that. Your thyroid labs are normal. There's no reason to treat that. And because this is what traditional medicine and traditional thought from the medical field has taught us, and through medical school and residency, is that you treat the labs. You don't treat the person, you treat the labs. And so I can't tell you how many times I've seen patients over the years that have had suboptimal thyroid function and treatment, and still continue to feel weak, tired, losing hair, dry skin, etc. So that's how that all transpired.
Needless to say, I took matters into my own hands and started working with a friend of mine who had recently gotten into bioidentical hormone replacement and kind of this preventative type of medicine, Dr. Ann Morgan with Thrive Once More clinic. And so she kind of got me started on a protocol. And as we were talking that first day, she said, oh, there's also this book that I've read. It's by David Sinclair. It's called Health Span, Why We Age and Why We Don't Have to. And that really kind of got us started. We read that book. Actually, we listened to that book. At the time, we were traveling to Colorado quite frequently. And so we would listen to the audiobook on our many hour drives across Kansas, but really got interested in this thought. And so I talked Mark into doing some continuing education with WorldLink Medical. And it was not too long after that we really kind of jumped in with both feet.
So then essentially at that point now we start to dive a little bit deeper into true healthcare and try to look at, it's like, what is there a better way? Is there another way that you can actually promote health and improve your health and live longer and live better and be functional? Because there's just got to be a better way to health, and it's not through treating disease, because that's an entire emphasis on Western medicine is to, you come up with the diagnosis, you treat the disease. Nobody really has an answer or has an interest or does anything to promote the fact that why don't we keep people healthy? Why don't we try to make ourselves healthy and prevent ourselves from getting heart disease, prevent cancers, prevent neurodegenerative problems, osteoporosis. There's so many other things you can do to help prevent that. And that's kind of how this all progressed.
And I think it's important to know that the reason that we're doing this is because we've been in the other shoes. Like we've seen the way it worked, and now we see a different way, a new way what we think is a better way. So we're super excited to be here and get this started. We're excited to talk to you about all the things. We have a list so long of all the different topics that we would like to talk about. And we are definitely interested in what you guys want to hear. So if you have things that you want to learn more about, please ask, send us messages on social media, comment on the podcast. Let us know. Let us know what you want to know, and we'll do our best to teach you.
Yeah, we're so committed on our own health, and we really want to be committed to your health too. So I think with the combination of our knowledge and our desire and need to want to learn more about, promoting health, I think we can help a lot more people and kind of teach them what we have learned. And I think through, a combination of, navigating each other's health, we can kind of come out on the other side of this and live to be, older, but yet at that age, we want to be productive. We don't want to be stuck in a nursing home. We want to be in a situation where we're productive 100-year-old folks that can go on a plane and put our luggage in the overhead compartment and carry our groceries up the stairs and things like that. So that's kind of where we're at. And we hope that you'll join us on this venture and this journey. But we look forward to hearing from you. If you have any other questions or comments or have any need to want to join us in this journey, just let us know at Revelation Health and Wellbeing.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rev Up Health. We hope you're leaving with some valuable insights to supercharge your health journey.
Don't forget to follow or subscribe to Rev Up Health wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a rating and review.
Have a topic you want us to explore? Reach out to us on social media channels. We love hearing from our wellness community.
Until next time, keep thriving, and remember, your journey to health is a journey to a better you.
Stay well, and we'll connect with you again soon. This is Tandi.
And this is Dr. Mark, signing off from Rev Up Health. Take care.